I'm trying to see what people have been saying about Mania. We've been a little confused. WrestleMania. In better news, there's this cool video of Io's parents in the crowd celebrating her win.
Shut up, Ramsey.
Yeah, probably the best moment of the show.
Shut the fuck up.
Best match of the show.
Stop glazing her, bro.
I don't know, man.
You glaze so much.
Immediately after mentioning it, I tweeted, yeah, well, doesn't get better than that. Men can't speak facts. The people agree. Crazy.
And it keeps glazing and glazing.
But the first 3-match stretch of night 2 kind of dumped them in night 1's entire mouth, the whole show. Probably
first 3 matches?
Yeah, Io, Bianca, Ripley, and then McIntyre, Priest, and then Mysterio, Breakker, Balor, Penta. That 3-match stretch was a lot better in comparison to the entirety of 41 Saturday.
The only one that was actually pretty fun, in my opinion, was the triple threat.
Which is crazy. The multi-man matches were the best matches of both the shows. But everybody seemed so disappointed out of night 1. Which was crazy to see, because Uso and Gunther was not the best match, and then the result was just painful to see.
Bro, everyone was like, why did Gunther tap out?
Yeah, Gunther tapped out quick, and it didn't take anywhere near as much as it took Dragunov to do in TakeOver 36.
Dragunov did a bunch more damage?
They beat the tar out of each other every time they encountered each other. And even that wasn't enough to beat Gunther in 2020. But then, TakeOver 36, Dragunov hit him with like 2 Torpedo Moscows and a Constantine special. They were just beating each other down the whole match. Until eventually, Dragunov got a chop to the back of the neck, and then an elbow to the back of the head, and then put him in a sleeper. An elevated sleeper, standing. And he made him tap out quick. New Day and the Raiders, 9-minute match.
I didn't watch that match.
There was a title change. Crowd didn't react. There was a couple spots the crowd kind of reacted to. Storyline's not great.
Jade Naomi, I didn't watch either.
Jade Naomi, I will say, pace-wise, Naomi carried. She did play to Jade's strength though, and having Jade have to catch her in big spots was a good thing. The catching suplex was good, and then that electric chair turned into a power bomb. That was good. Not necessarily the most original, but it was good. Like someone on Cage Match said it had potential to be the worst WrestleMania match of all time, and it was just average. Thankfully,
it beat the Usos match.
Yes, it did. I think that's a low bar, though.
I don't think that match will ever be. I don't think a match will be even worse.
But yeah, that match was okay. I honestly would have.
Why did they have John Cena win?
I would have rather had Naomi beat Jade there.
Why?
I mean, we just had Naomi turn heel. Jade's still on the same side she was before. It would have been a way to elevate this version of Naomi, I would say. But
they're also trying to elevate Jade as well.
Jade's in the same position she was when she got there.
But that's like her first big singles match.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
She's been there like, what, a year?
Yeah. She's there for months and didn't get her first appearance until fucking Royal Rumble.
Yeah, they just had her training to Rumble.
They had to get the AEW out of her, bro.
And
why?
Then,
alright.
Jacob Fatu and LA Knight, title change.
Jacob Fatu, he's just good.
Yeah, the match was good. Jacob Fatu's been a standout since he got there. Jacob, they were right when they were worried about Jacob outshining Solo. I mean, he did it immediately.
Well, duh.
They have okay chemistry. The LA Knight looked okay. They looked good. The catching BFT was sick. But yeah, Jacob Fatu he's gonna be something for sure. El Grande Americano versus Ray.
Oh my god. That match should never happen either.
It is.
I don't know what they're doing to Chad Gable.
It is so ironic to have this big announcement of the acquisition of one of the bigger Mexican Lucha Libre promotions in the world, and having him stand on the stage while you announce it and clap and cheer, and then bring him to face a fake luchador and lose. I mean, being able to pull out a moonsault senton is ridiculous. I will say that's one of the things you do once and say, yeah, that's not happening again. That kind of hurt.
Yeah, he's okay. Hope we didn't get like any headaches after that.
Yeah.
There's like one-time thing that we're gonna see, and that's never gonna happen again.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, there was a part where Ray Phoenix ran the ropes, did the Goodbye Amigos kick, and then he kicked Chad's loaded mask and sold his right foot. And then Chad did the ankle lock on the left foot, which, I mean, the way they do the moves, that's unless they did it on the other side. Which, but yeah, it did a regular TV match. Other than that, it was a TV match. Could have been. And Stratton Flair, 20-minute match, just about.
Hold on, sorry.
ベレア、リア・リプリーという最高の相手だったということがさらに私のこの防衛の価値を。
Oh, what? Yeah, Tiffany and Flair and Charlotte Flair. The match was awkward.
It was.
Kind of slow. Didn't feel very creative. It would have been a great TV main event. It wouldn't be one of the best TV main events, but Tiffany did hold her ground against Charlotte there. It looked like she chipped her tooth, but I guess she didn't. What was going on in her mouth then? But, you know.
Maybe hair? Question mark?
Her hair's blonde. Both of their hair's blonde.
Oh yeah, it's
There's
true.
black in there. Something was going on in there.
Yeah, I got black in her. I mean, what?
Anyways, Seth Punk Reigns. Now it's, I mean, probably the highlight of that show. I mean, this main event should be. It was comparatively, bar wasn't very high that show, but it was fun. It was a triple threat match.
But I like how I called it too, and I was kidding when Heyman joins Rollins.
Yeah, not sure what. So the thing is, Roman Reigns has been in 2 triple threats at Mania, and Rollins were both involved, and Heyman was also there for both in some capacity. Now, in the last one, he was special counsel with someone else, but we won't worry about that. But
Brock Lesnar.
okay, yep, him double crossing Punk and Reigns was good. I just don't see what Rollins really gets out of this, but all right.
He gets a wise man. Now
Seth.
Roman is completely alone.
Yeah, all right.
Completely alone.
And then today,
And he probably deserves it.
I wouldn't say all that.
He's a Trump sport. Shut up, Ramses.
Okay. Now, Sunday, Bianca Ripley was the highlight of this show for legitimate reasons. Rhea did her big, strong stuff for sure. Bianca was kind of the glue of the match, as she always is. Special talent, good counters and transitions and such. Obviously perfect in everything she did, selling cool
You're
spots.
lying.
I'm not. She didn't make a mistake there. Yeah.
Plays too much, bud.
First Japanese woman to win at WrestleMania. First Japanese person to win it in like 27 years. That was.
He plays too much, bud.
This is legit though. This is a good match. It was the best match on the Mania card. Both of them.
She got carried the entire match, bro. Okay.
But yeah, that was
fucking
the
ass world champion. I'm sorry.
that match was probably the only match that felt like WrestleMania, I'll say. Listen, City Street Fight, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. I'm not a huge fan of the formula of WWE street fights, but this one was good, fun. McIntyre tweeting in the middle of the match was hilarious. The ending was sick. Good use of tables, a lot of tables.
Surprisingly.
I wouldn't have called this a street fight. You could have just said no DQ, but
Yeah, it wasn't a street fight. It didn't even feel like one.
yeah, it felt like an Extreme Rules match. You don't have to gimmick it with street fight with the city name. You didn't have to do that.
Sin City was a myth.
Fatal 4-Way, Dom, Breaker, Balor, Penta. I mean, they're not gonna throw Balor a bone, it seems. So, yep, Dom's the IC champ now. Crowd was behind Dom in this match. Carlito once again was destroyed by Braun Breaker. Penta kind of pented around, and yeah, there was spots. I wouldn't really say Penta or Breaker had any business in the real feud here, but you know.
They just want to give Dom the belt so Balor and Dom can have something to fight for, I guess.
Yeah, still better than most of the matches on the first night, so you can give it that. And yeah, right. Joe Hendry, 3 minutes, 10 seconds.
Don't want to talk about that.
It's,
Piece of shit.
and they gave the world champion a
I don't
shot
know
at
how people
Randy
can
Orton.
go on the internet and say, yeah, Joe Hendry could afford a loss. No, he can't. He's the world champion.
Yeah, as a world champion, I do feel that this was an odd use of an open challenge for Randy and an odd acceptance from Joe Hendry. I would not put Joe Hendry in this.
What made this man accept the challenge?
Honestly, just to have it be someone signed to WWE, I might have thrown R-Truth against Randy Orton before Joe Hendry. We could have the same fun, and the world champion didn't have to take the pin. But yeah, world champion got squashed. Is what it is.
I'm sorry, that has to be one of the worst decisions for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Have a different company's world champion get squashed by, how old is Randy? Like a 40-year-old man? Is how people were like, yeah, good decision for Randy to beat Joe Hendry.
Yeah, everybody figured Randy was winning regardless of who the open challenge was. So that's why everybody was saying Rusev was showing up, was insinuating that Rusev was going to win. But no, that's not.
I'll be honest. If you were an owner of a company and WWE wanted to use one of your world champion, would you want your world champion to be squashed and made fun of by a 40-plus-year-old veteran?
45, which is
A 45-year-old man.
It's not too far from Joe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Joe's 36. It's not too far.
Okay. Still, gonna have their world champion get squashed.
I mean, oh yeah,
Stop.
An odd partnership.
You need to cut this partnership. This is not a partnership.
It is what it is.
From a different company. Whoever thought we'd see the day at WrestleMania.
Logan Paul, AJ Styles. This was a very forgettable match, I'll say.
Oh, I don't even know why.
Of course, Logan Paul's athletic, he's gifted, but he definitely sucked the life out of the show. This match was boring. This match was long, and the result was kind of disappointing.
The only thing I do remember is him doing the moonsault. Because this man, I'm just going to say this now, this man has always gotten hops. I'll say that anytime I need to.
I remember Logan Paul hitting the buckshot lariat and Pat McAfee calling it the buckshot lariat. I remember that.
Oh, did he? I did not hear that.
He said buckshot lariat this time. This match was almost 18 minutes long. Very forgettable. Probably my least favorite of the night. Becky and Lyra and the Judgment Day, Morgan and Raquel. Like a 9-minute match almost.
Also, they said what? She wasn't going to come back until they got a creative idea for her?
Until they had the right creative, yes. So I guess the right creative was just pulling Bayley out of the match and having her tag Lyra, making Lyra a double champ.
No, bro. Cool, Lyra's double champ. That's fine, but I think Becky should have went for a world title, maybe, or maybe went against Lyra.
I would say because Becky legitimately terrorized Liv Morgan for like 2 years, I would have had Liv and Raquel retain here.
Oh, really?
Yes, but I also don't see how Bayley being in this match would even change the result or the dynamic.
I know, when I saw this on social media on the match, I was like, why is this tag team going against the tag titles? I was like, why not an established tag team?
Yeah, they had a random gauntlet match for this and then pulled one of the members of the winners. It's crazy.
And he said that was always the plan?
I suppose.
Then it shouldn't have been Bayley in there. It should have been Becky.
They should have just had Becky win it. Why even have her gone that long? Just have her in the tag tournament. Well, gauntlet, not tournament.
But I won't nitpick. I say it was still pretty good. Some matches are good.
I'd say that one was slightly above average.
Some matches were good. My favorite one was definitely the triple threat of the women's, not the men's. That second match.
Yep.
And then I say Jacob Fatu and LA Knight was pretty decent. Just wish it wasn't LA Knight having to take the loss, but it's okay.
And then Cody Rhodes, John Cena.
Man, I'm sorry. Cody did not do a lot. Until the very end, he did some things.
Except at the beginning. So,
as I said, at the end.
So this is the kind of match where the aura of the two people in the ring, I don't personally feel like should supersede the actual quality of the match. I don't think this match was made to be well received by fans. The fans didn't even know who to cheer, really. It's just a bunch of people paid a lot of money to see John Cena break the record. So they cheered
It's
Cena.
good, though. It's good.
As a matter of fact, it was 50-50 for Cena, and they booed Cody.
I've wanted John Cena to break the record for a long time since, one, he was the closest, and two, it was John Cena and I was a kid.
But with that fact, this match was very slow.
Which is something I wasn't hoping for. I was hoping for Styles Cena match.
I can tell the plan was to make the fans hate Cena, but that was not happening, as some people spent $10,000 to watch him break the record. They're not going to boo him. If they wanted to surprise us, no. The last good match I can remember from Cena is the Styles one, 2017. I do think this was a flat way to end Cody's reign, because nobody's thinking that Cody finished the story last year. And
he was champion for over a year, 378 days. Very respectable reign.
But it was like he won it, and everybody was, when he was winning it, just thinking about him winning it. But we get here, nobody's thinking about him losing it. They're just thinking about Cena winning the championship and breaking the record. So nobody's thoughts were on Cody at all. He just kind of lost. And then Travis Scott here. It was like,
I was like, cool, Travis Scott's getting involved. That's cool and all. But I thought The Rock was gonna be there too. But no, man, it was just Travis. I thought it was gonna be more. For me, it just fell flat.
But this was an interesting way to end Cody's reign. It just kind of felt like Cena was literally here to deflate all the momentum Cody had.
And also rub some salt in the wound and spit to the face with Travis Scott.
Yeah.
That's just me personally.
It felt like Cena was, of course, as a heel, taking everything and making it a lot slower. The beginning of that match was very slow. The ending, to a lot of people, did feel flat.
It was, bro. I was expecting like be someone to help Cody, maybe?
Who? He doesn't have friends. He's just the world champ.
For all his friends that were there at WrestleMania 40!
Everybody was there at WrestleMania 40. You finished the story.
They still could have helped the man.
Cody's a grown man and didn't fight his own battles, as they say.
Oh, brother.
The pacing at the beginning was really slow. Cena didn't seem to want to do anything. And then it was just Cena destroying Cody for most of the match. Until he got some Cody cutters in, some disaster kicks, and then Scott comes out. And then the match changed pace. The focal point now on Travis Scott.
Also, by the way he got into the ring, I didn't expect that from Travis.
He grabbed John's hand, pulls him up. And he definitely walked to that whole ramp. It took 30 years.
It was very painful, and you see John Cena is laughing and smiling the whole entire time. And almost had the same amount of time as an entrance for Undertaker. But no, Undertaker's walking is a different beast. He is super slow. I remember at WrestleMania 30, I heard the gong. It was like playing with like one of my friends, and I came back after 15 minutes, and this man was still walking. I was like, "What? How's he not in the ring yet?"
Yeah, Travis did good with what he was given. I would say this match is going to be presented as a major focal point in WWE history in the future, but this, just like Tiffany and Charlotte, is going to be portrayed as one of the greatest things to happen in WWE history, even though it wasn't all that live.
The record being broken is a big moment.
It is,
but
that's what they fuel themselves with. It was just kind of this big old glue walk to get to one of the biggest moments in wrestling history. And night 2 was definitely better than night 1 by a long shot. Heel's got a new shirt I'll probably have to get.
I know. Of course you would.
Well, 2 new shirts. One's normal, the other one's from ProSphere, so it's all green. I might need that one.
Of course you would, because you're weird.
How? It's the greatest wrestler on the planet.
That's Cap.
No, up there. I don't think WWE deserved her, honestly. Eva posted a nice photo with her chinny chin chin on the belt. That's pretty cool.
Shut up.
Wow. It's crazy. I didn't say anything wrong. Anyways, let me go back and CEO's post-show conference.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you and EO, bro?
I can't listen to a post-show conference.
No, like, what is wrong with you and her? Like, holy shit.
What are you referring to here?
Talking about that's supposed to be mine, that was mine, and there's CEO time again, just ready to prove himself. But the thing is, anyone with
any kind of sense would be a fool to take ego for granted. Like, it is what she has.
That's what I'm saying, Biggie. Anyone would be a fool to take Io for granted.
She is the truth. She proved that tonight. But
You know she's the truth.
It's like being George Harrison. You know what I mean? Awesome, but it just takes.
Oh, there she is. Oh my God.
Because of this moment, the people recognize how great Io Sky is. So here comes the Women's World Champion. 48 days with that title, and what a signature victory tonight. Io Sky.
Yep, show them the belt.
Press conference, and I understand you have a statement for us.
She came with a statement.
もうこのレッスルマニアという世界最高の舞台でこのタイトルを防衛できた初の日本人女性になれたことをすごく光栄に思います。そしてその対戦相手がビアンカ・ベレア、リア・リプリーという最高の相手だったということがさらに私のこの防衛の価値を上げていると思います。本当に心の底から嬉しく思います。So, I'm so much honored. I'm so much grateful. I feel like I was born to make this moment.
Born to make this moment? Yes, yeah, sure.
I'm over the moon.
You're over the moon? Yeah, literally, I get it. Yep, like you're over the moon. Oh, yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Yes.
What did I say wrong? What?
Existing for EO, that's all you do.
I didn't do anything wrong. Look, man, she cut an entire statement. I wouldn't really call it a promo. Statement in Japanese at the beginning of her
I
sit
don't
there.
give a shit.
And me, understood every
You lying.
single.
You're lying.
Word.
The lies you tell.
She said she's honored to be the first woman to successfully defend a in a title match on the world's greatest stage, WrestleMania. And she thinks the title defense is even more valuable.
You definitely got subtitles on there, bud.
No, I don't. They don't have any.
Alright, let me see.
Because of my best opponents, Bianca Belair. Okay, I got you. Great. Okay.
Alright, let's see your Ramsey.
Alright, like, back it up, son. Look at her. Just come on now.
Shut up, Ramsey.
Look at her. The champion. The champion.
48 days with that title.
The champion.
What a signature victory tonight. Io Sky.
Yep.
Then you have a statement for us.
Yep. She's honored to be the first Japanese woman to successfully defend in a title match on the world's greatest stage, WrestleMania. And she thinks the title defense is even more valuable because of her best opponents, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. She's truly happy from the bottom of her heart. And then I'm so much honored. I'm so much grateful.
You're fucking lying.
Like
you have something translated for
over
you.
the moon. What do you mean? It's happening live. You're looking
There's no
at
way
it.
you understand every single word of that.
You're looking at it. Over the moon, like you're over the moon. Salt. You're not hearing it. You're not hearing it.
Cap, you did not understand that unless you just translate that all in English.
You were watching. Man, my steez. Man, winning made Kyrie cry. Almost made me. Look, man, I picked my favorites for a reason. I'm sure you pick yours for a reason as well. But 5 stars. A 5-star women's triple threat match at WrestleMania. On the same night as he rated one of his lowest WrestleMania main events over 0. Don't get mad when I say what I say about Io Sky. Me calling the top 3 wrestlers on the planet. Sometimes switch it up, say she's the best of all time on the planet, a living, breathing, currently, right at this moment, right at this time. and I'm sharing the same planet, they'll say stuff like that from a logical place. I'm just inflating it very far. But even Meltzer agrees. So we have that. It's been the best belt-to-belt wrestler in the WWE this year. I feel like she's been one of the best in North America, but yeah, that's all good. Women's wise, for sure the best. Other than Mercedes and Amanada and such. They're on a very close play. There's not a lot of people hooping on the level she is. It's just true. Especially in that company. This is literally one of the only reasons I watch. Do you see this Funko Pop? I have a card and another shirt coming on the way. She's the only person whose merch I'll buy at this point from the WWE. Just like they're not releasing any Dragunov stuff, so it's just EO. But yeah, like I said, like I will continue to say, EO Sky is the best wrestler on that roster. And I'm not taking that back. Better than Gunther, better than everybody else, bro. Oh no, bro. That is the first time a WWE women's match has received a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer. It's like he sees what I see, at least in that, right? Like, I'm not here screaming, oh, it's arbitrary. It's arbitrary. I get it. Yeah, about what I would say. It's like, that's why I don't really get upset when people talk about it. I'm like, kind of close to what I would say. Like, if I were to say, I don't see a problem with that. So, this is all coming off of WrestleMania 41 week being a PR disaster. Which I wouldn't even call it a PR disaster at this point. This is just them showing their true colors as they do. So it's not a PR disaster because they're not saying anything out of the ordinary or anything unexpected. And there was Triple H telling the fans to stop talking and enjoy his slop because people shouldn't be able to form an opinion on what they're watching, of course. WrestleMania Night 1 was a miserable experience, and then the main event was pretty good. So a 7 out of 10 in a sea of 2s. Obviously looks like a 12. Then Night 2 started off. I literally said while I was watching it, literally tweeted while I was watching it, well, doesn't get better than that. Show started off amazing. Best possible match to start off the show. 2 of the best wrestlers on the roster on that match. And then the whole show just slowly went downhill from there. Then we got the main event with Travis Scott slowly walking down, taking 5 years to get to the ring, but seemingly unwelcome, which did seem to take all of the glisten off of John Cena's record-breaking 17th World Championship win there. Then there was the Tony Hinchcliffe WrestleMania roast, which I did go back and hear some of that transcript. Very unfunny show. I don't know why if anybody paid to be there, or anybody was actually willing to participate in that, but it was just a big racist, unfunny joke convention. It's crazy. And then Monday Night Raw rolled around, and it was a pretty good show, and that whole sludge storm that was WrestleMania 41 Night 1 and 90% of Night 2 was just thrown under the bridge, water on the bridge. So one good Triple H show can get him back in the good graces. He doesn't have to do anything interesting until July now. Then another one will hook us into the Rumble. Then Dynamite rolled around. Was the best wrestling show of the week. The Young Bucks vs. Kevin Knight and Speedball might be tag match of the year. It's very well in contention, and there's not many matches combating with it. And then The Rock came out on the Pat McAfee show and said, yeah, I wouldn't have done that way. You just said the last year of Build to Mania was mediocre. That's crazy. Do you know what that says? Anyway. And then Joe Hendry's big WrestleMania Palooza gained 70 tickets maybe for Slammiversary. So it's great publicity. Outstanding. And I remember I remember right at the beginning of WrestleMania Night 1, I was like, this doesn't feel like WrestleMania, even though I see all the people in the stadium, and I see the sign and the big old stage. This doesn't feel like WrestleMania, and I stand on that. Somebody said on Instagram threads, and poof, just like that, WWE ruined a guy that should have been the company's top heel for the next decade just for a flash in the pan main event run from a dude that shouldn't even be a mid-card champ. I genuinely can't even think of a more disappointing booking decision in my lifetime than having that match end like that. Yeah, you guys are missing the point. It's not about Jay winning, it's about how he won. There are ways to end a match without having the loser look weak. That finish certainly wasn't one.
Nah, it's Jay winning. That's the problem. I don't know what you thought. You could like, oh, Jay winning's not that bad. It's just how he won it. To be honest with you, it's both. How he won is fucking stupid. It literally ruined. And you know what? And niggas were coping so hard when they brought up Ilya Dragunov tapping out Walter, and they're like, look, I mean, it's canonically that his character is supposed to be weak and not be able to handle submissions. Bitch. They went to a 30-minute war.
That's one thing I brought up with Dylan. Is Gunther tapped quick there, and it took Dragunov so much more than that to get Gunther to tap that quick.
Seriously.
TakeOver 36, they beat the tar out of each other. It took 2 Torpedo Moscows, 1 to the back of the head. It took a Constantine special. Well, no to Constantine. Took some sentons, took chop to the back of the neck and elbow to the back of the head. And then a standing sleeper. He tapped him out with.
Grabbed him and was like,
Lifted that man off the ground with that sleeper. Honestly, I feel like he should have just faded to the sleeper from Dragunov. And this one is tapping? He didn't just pass out, he tapped.
yeah, I tapped out is crazy. I would much rather have you passed out. Because no single way without cheating for it to make sense for Jay to pin him. It's literally out of the question. There's no fucking shot. Unless Jay cheats, there's no pinning him. So the next best thing would be submission. Again, I don't know, man. Unless Jay threw a brass knuckle punch in there, maybe John Cena did. He just the turnbuckle pad came off. Double tap him on that. Maybe even triple tap him, and then 2 super kicks and the Uso splash, and then put him in a sleeper. That maybe he could just pass out.
And I would have been fine with that, I guess. The result still...
Yeah, the result still blows, but